I'm John Modlin, Chief of the U.S. Border Patrol's Tucson sector. This morning, I'm at the Tucson International Airport. Behind me, you can see recently processed migrants boarding an international flight back to their country of origin. I would remind anyone thinking about crossing the border illegally between the ports of entry that under Title VIII, you may face an enhanced expedited removal process, meaning that upon being encountered, you'll be promptly placed into immigration proceedings and may be removed. Instead, anyone considering migrating to the United States is highly encouraged to apply for admission. Don't risk your life or the lives of your loved ones by crossing illegally through Arizona's desert during the summer months. Remember, there are consequences for illegal entry under Title VIII. These consequences are strictly enforced. Use the CBP-1 mobile application. Don't cross the border illegally.
Coral writes, Amazon is now selling products promoting the annexing of Canada to be the 51st state of the USA. Can the Canadian federal government not force Amazon to take these products down? I didn't know that these products were available on Amazon, but a quick cursory search shows you, and you can see the screenshots here, baseball caps, stickers, patches, flags, various things calling Canada the 51st state, maple syrup and freedom. 51 states strong. It is out there. We took this question to David Soberman. He's a marketing professor at the Rotman School of Management at the University of Toronto. He says that for the government to work to take this stuff down from Amazon is just not worth the effort and the attention that it would create. He says it's better to ignore it, not give these people the free advertising. No Canadian is going to buy this stuff, he says, and the majority of Americans don't really care about it. This is essentially creating memes through retail.
People that are doing.
Donald Trump is not joking when he says he wants to annex Canada. Those words coming from none other than the Prime Minister himself, according to sources. Justin Trudeau made the remark at a closed-door trade summit of Canadian business and labor leaders in Toronto.
We are in a moment that we have to meet for Canadians.
The Prime Minister was more urgent after the media left the room. Sources say he told participants there's no doubt that Trump wants to turn Canada into the 51st state and that he wants our energy.
What Donald Trump has awakened us all to is one person can change the course of everybody else's prosperity here.
Trudeau told the audience Trump had a 4-page list of grievances, that he wants Canada's critical minerals to further his protectionist goals. This American lobbyist says that may give Canada some advantage.
I absolutely think energy security has been abundantly clear that that's a priority for the Trump administration. I think critical minerals are a huge part of that. Canada is much further along in developing their resources and have more resources than the United States. So it is a point of leverage.
Donald Trump has already wrecked the U.S. economy. What's happening right now across the country is that foreign workers, who of course are not documented, they're terrified of being deported, they have decided to not show up to work, which according to farmers across the country is resulting in a massive issue because there's nobody to do the work. In California specifically, it is the peak of citrus harvesting season, and unfortunately, a lot of the workers that they hire, again, undocumented workers, are simply not showing up. So there's nobody to pick the citrus, and it's just sitting out there in the fields, and they're warning now that this could very quickly lead to a massive shortage across the country. But again, it's not just citrus farmers in California. This is the entire agricultural industry here in the United States warning us that even though we're not seeing the raids yet, the threat of the raids have been enough to cause a worker shortage. And now that the agricultural industry is sounding the alarm bells, economists are also sounding the alarm bells, as they have been for months, telling us that we are headed towards a recession. Here's how one of them put it. You are talking about a recession-level event if this is the new long-term norm. That is from Cal State Bakersfield economics professor Richard Gerhardt. Now, economists had, of course, predicted all of this. You know, I've sat here and I've talked about all of this. This is what will happen. And we're seeing it happen. It is playing out exactly the way that everybody warned you it was going to play out. Okay? There's no surprises here. There's no shock. The only thing shocking about it, as these economists are trying to tell us, is how quickly it could lead us into a recession. They had already toyed with the idea that, yes, this could probably lead to a recession, and now it's more like, yeah, it's gonna lead to a recession, and it's gonna happen a lot quicker than we had anticipated. Because that's what Trump's policies do. And we're only in the infancy of it, folks. We're a week into this thing. And we're already seeing the ripple effects throughout the United States economy. If this continues, and of course, once the raids really start happening in earnest, this will only get worse, okay? This problem is not going to get better. Donald Trump is not going to come out today and say, you know what? Everybody can stay. You're fine. Go back to work. I screwed up on this issue. I'm not going to pursue it. That's not going to happen. And anything short of that is going to exacerbate the problem. He has made it clear. We're going forward with the deportations. People are leaving. And the more that threat lingers out there, the more likely these people are to simply not go into an area where they're afraid there's going to be a big ICE raid. He's already deployed troops to the southern border, so the military is involved at this point. This isn't just a humanitarian disaster. You may be of the opinion that, well, these people don't deserve to be here. Get them the hell out of here. Let's see how you feel a month from now. Hell, let's see how you feel right now with the price of eggs increasing by almost 40% in the last couple weeks. But let's see how you feel when you go to the grocery store and you either can't find the things you need because of the labor shortage, or you can't afford the things you need. That will happen. Both of those things are going to happen. Okay? I'm not throwing out hypotheticals here. I'm not trying to scaremonger you. I am telling you based on the available data, on the available things that are happening, all of those worst case scenarios that we predicted are gonna be here, and they're gonna be here a hell of a lot sooner than any of us thought.
This is Donald Trump's parents. His mother, Mary Ann, was an immigrant from Scotland. Now, Donald Trump believes that, quote, immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. So the question is, in any circumstances, could he be right? This is Donald's first wife, an immigrant, Ivana, who, according to the FBI, her Immigration and Naturalization Service file was, quote, fraught with inconsistencies regarding dates of residence, schooling, and employments. Anyway, Donald Trump and Ivana produced these three knuckleheads. Then Donnie Boy's third wife, another immigrant, Melania, who somehow got into America on, get this, an Einstein visa, which is reserved for people who are professionally acclaimed in their field. Think Pulitzer, Oscar, and Olympic winners, as well as respected academic researchers. But Melania is a woman who posed nude, plagiarized Michelle Obama, and complained how onerous it was to put out the White House Christmas decorations. And then they produced Barron. Hopefully Barron will disprove the theory that the apple never falls far from the tree. Anyway, in conclusion, the question is, have the immigrants related to Donnie Boy poisoned the blood of our country? What do you think?